A ver. No entiendo, en Duribe es otro suceso. Y este es otro suceso. Y al final es un multiverso.
So, Albrecht made it to 1999 in one piece. But that thing is still on his heels. Albrecht rarely smiled after his return from the void. And never like that. I smashed the casket for nothing! It followed him anyway!
Ah, tú conocías antes, pues pendejo. No me digas que Eloy conoció siempre la verdad.
Silence, creatures! It seems the murmur overloaded your connection. Unfortunately for Albrecht's cherished POM 2, not as future-proof as the label claimed. Alas. The murmur. They're attacking the sensory network I installed. Our eyes and ears. To arms, Tenno! Play the warrior and leave the tactics to me.
Ya Eloy, yo te dejo la estrategia y yo soy el combatiente.
Your one responsibility is fulfilled. Be with the family. They must be kept in the state of ignorance to which my Albrecht so wisely consigned them.
But I... Yes, I see. Until we meet again, Tenno.
Ah, tenemos que avisar. Ah, abre tu arsenal y equipa el grimorio. Ahora vámonos. Tenemos que avisar a la familia.
I'd crawl away in shame too if I'd done what Lloyd did. Doesn't that grimoire feel a little light?
The murmur presumes to destroy our auditory and visual senses. In all the time I have been asleep, they have never once been so bold.
Ah, ¿es una defensa común? ¿Corriente? ¿Cómo?
Ignore the caveat.
Grifo,
If
bofena.
Albrecht ever understood their babble, he never bothered to share that knowledge
A ver,
with me.
tiramos un poco con el grimorio.
There they come. After all those years of silent encroachment, something has changed them. Stirred them up. There is a defense system of sorts. Gather enough of the floating Warframe glyphs, and they should reinvigorate the organs you're here to protect. A fallback system, in case the promised operator never showed.
No, más rápido derroto con esto.
Never could be compelled to attack the murder. Albrecht suspected they could no longer distinguish between the indifference.
Ah, ya estoy entendiendo. Ya tengo que recoger todo eso también.
To confirm. Shifting focus. Get to the victory. Look at them. The indifference. He could have given lessons in indifference.
Come! Come!
Albrecht once thought the Carvia should have been destroyed. Failures all. But he briefly showed reluctance.
Permite que comience la otra oleada. Hay que aumentar todo esto.
For his negligence. I saw off Granum's.
Ahora sí ya comenzó, vámonos.
I beat back the infested. And by the void I shall see the end of these monstrosities.
Este pendejo. Y ahora.
It seems Albrecht said more than we heard. Despite the signal becoming corrupted, his words to you are preserved in the transference buffer. We should extract them. But for that, the POM 2 requires a replacement board. And those are all hidden away in the Netracels. You do understand that accessing a Netracell without a key glyph is completely impossible?
¿Qué? ¿Quién me está hablando? ¿Tú, pececito? Muchas gracias. ¿Para qué servirá? No sé.
So, the Carvia have provided the very item we require. Very well. Proceed to the Netracell at your own risk, Tenno. That babbling oddity may be sending you into a trap, and if you do end up in one, I'm afraid you're on your own.
A ver, tan peligrosa es la Ultra Zelda, ¿cómo se llama? Netra Zelda. Ah, acá vamos a comenzar cada misión que vamos a entrar. Ya. ¿Qué fue, perrito? Mira, el perro tiene miedo.
Glyphs are a heavy burden for living beings to bear. Each type will impede you in its own way.
Los enemigos asignados explotan en el vacío. Muchas gracias por la observación. A la miércoles, esto es lo que me complica a mí. Se me complica un poco esa maquinita, pero madre pendejo. Usa los terminales para marcar la ubicación asistencial, ¿ya? Encima de él está el operador, ¿sí o no? Ahora lo que me doy cuenta.
Look at these things lying around, abandoned. Like you, Lloyd.
You are his demon, not mine.
¿Dónde miércoles están los terminales? ¿Me puedes hacer algo? Nada.
My apologies to now.
Oye, acá está la
I shall
mano.
refrain from further outbursts.
Aquí hay cositas.
There, a Netracell. Albrecht stored all manner of sentimental old junk in these.
Nivel de alerta en nuestra celda. Elimina a los enemigos para disminuir.
The
Allá.
Netracell security apparatus is diligent. That door won't open while it can sense the murmur nearby. So eliminate them. The lab's automated systems are trying to lock down the Netracell. Your only option is to destroy them.
Encuentre y destruye el drone necramito para continuar. Ya. Con razón yo no bajaba el porcentaje. ¿Y ahora?
You should
Te
have
encontré de
left
nuevo.
well enough alone, kiddo. It'll never get better if you keep on picking at it.
Muévete, pendejo, muévete.
Excellent. Return to me with the bolt, Tenor.
Tenemos una placa.
Thank you. A moment, please. Would you do the honors?
¿Y esa placa? ¿Puedo entrar de nuevo al este gigante que está ahí? ¿O no? No, es para el tomo.
Tenno. Forgive me. I need Lloyd to understand why I had to leave without him. Why I forced him to destroy the device after I had gone. And why I could never say the words he so needed to hear. If I had remained in the Deimos laboratory, Lloyd would never have been safe from him. You know of what I speak. And so I retreated to the only place in history where that entity could not easily follow, to draw his greedy eye away from Lloyd.
Eso significa los archivos que estamos obteniendo. Esa placa son los recuerdos que guardó Albrecht.
No, I require your trust. Craft the little curio whose blueprints you will find in the computer's memory. Complete the Kalimos sequence. Repair. Rebuild. When the time is right, find me.
Al final es encontrar, pero eso estamos haciendo poco a poco. A ver, cuéntame algo, Lloyd.
The skin of a martyr doesn't suit you, Albrecht. If something mattered, he'd have found a way. It's too late. You heard him, Tenno. He requires your trust. So craft the bloody thing.
El plano de Albrecht. Ah, tenemos que regresar al orbitador. A ver. Uy, pendejo.
You don't wanna be late again, do you?
Y te quedas acá mirándome como un pendejo. Si ves para acá también me sigues. Ah, no. Hay que construir, pe, esta boca estridente. Por algo era, pe. Servía para algo, ¿viste? Si no me lo daba, no lo construía. Y tenía que buscarlo como pendejo otra vez.
The Jahu gargoyle. Bring it back here and we shall examine what form will do to help us.
Y ahorita te lo traigo, no hay problema. Has abierto esto, la nueva voz. Oh, pero Lloyd, ¿dónde está? Ah, está ahí.
Albrecht may have told you to build that thing, but given how he used people and threw them away, he may not have cared for your safety. If that gargoyle is a threat, you must take it from the sanctum immediately. Now, activate it.
Este juego es bipolar, me dice construyelo, después destrúyelo. ¿Cómo es eso?
At last! If ignorance is bliss, then you, Tenno, must be ecstatic. Come on then, bring it closer. Wakey, wakey.
Where did that come from? Identify yourself!
Del Pepe.
Please, Lloyd, let them figure it out. Here, in the jar. What? The fish with the big brain? Yes, the fish with the big brain. Can we please finally get this interminable process over with?
Albrecht used you to give the Cavia a voice, just as he used me to keep them alive. Such a resourceful man.
So, here we are then, the best of what's left. Clearly, Papa's plan was countered. Color me surprised. Right then, we may proceed with the sequence.
You animals have observed us all this time, have you not? You've given yourself a role in the sequence?
Indeed we have. Oh, come, Lloyd. It's named after Papa's favorite pet. Spare the rod and spoiled. We know the fragmented ones are heralds of the indifference. We know the chosen operator must summon and destroy them. And regrettably, you, Lloyd, have made this impossible.
Choose your words carefully, fish.
Tenno, the grimoire is incomplete. The final page hidden away by Lloyd. Be a darling and retrieve it. That's all. Run it on.
So be it. The gift of decency was clearly not bestowed upon the Cavia, Tenno. But I cannot deny the page's current status is lost.
Talk! Talk! I can talk!
Este pendejo.
Oh, Mr. Lloyd! Mr. Lloyd! Where is Papa? Why did Papa leave us? Mr. Lloyd!
Papa is gone. We could all be gone too. In an instant. Like. We have to keep quiet.
Okay.
Ah, los animales saben la verdad porque el mismo
Allow me
Lloyd
to
dice.
this down for you. Should the indifference's corrupting touch reach us and take back our speech, we would be screwed. So, Mia, love, and eradicate the murmur in this patch before the big bad gets word that Lloyd's awake and the fish is talking.
Tenno, there is some truth to what the fish says. That page was the last thing my Albrecht ever wrote. meant for me, since I had no interest in reading his endless self-justifications. I hid it away instead. But with all this chaos, it's undetectable.
Ah, tú has escondido la propia hoja. Y esos tres animales saben la verdad. ¿Por qué se sabe? Ah, no, pero verdad. Si nos cuenta ya, pero ya no hay la emoción pues, de la historia.
So long as the indifference is missing a digit, it is confined to the strands of Kra. Don't ask, your tiny mind would likely pop under the strain of understanding. This limitation is our one hope.
Do not patronize the Tenno fish. The strands of Kra are merely void renderings of the chains of cause and effect. Conceptually embodied timelines, if you will.
Papa's daughter excelled at explaining complicated concepts in childish terms. I see now where she learned it. Arousing as I'm sure this is for you, the rest of us are moments away from an extinction grim, black, and final. So, if you would be so kind, finish up so I can point you toward that sodding page.
Ah, ya estamos cerca de esa página, dice.
Bravo! It was a long walk towards competence, but here you are. Now, please, the page.
Ahora sabremos la verdad, todavía tampoco.
It's done. Keep it to yourself, Tenno.
Ah, muchas gracias por el
I'm damned
grimorio.
if I'm giving Albrecht the last word.
Filled hand raps upon the untimed door, and sans grimoire, we are undone. We've been rumbled.
¿Nos atraparon? ¿Y qué pasó? ¿Qué miércoles han hecho?
Thank Void. Listen, the murmur diverted your extraction jump. We need you back at the sanctum now. Hurry!
Sí, sí, muy rápido. Llegué.
Takes and it takes. It took my future. It's
Oh,
taking
vas a
my
pelear.
lands inch by inch. Well, I won't let it take his bloody cavia.
Vamos, Lloyd, yo te cubro la espalda.
The sodding indifference seeks a path through the walls, and then, Tenno, through you. Keep it at bay. Oh, the strand holds. The indifference approaches. Soon, it will take on mass.
El jefe. No le hago daño. Algo de grimorio. Tampoco.
Tenno, the grimoire must speak with its own voice.
Ya. A ver.
You gave me back my sight, but I would not spare you a glance.
Oh, matar a ese pendejo.
You gave me back my voice, but I never spoke to praise you as I should have. For you were my right
A
hand,
ver, grimorio creo que baja más.
my strength,
Ah, todavía no tengo el grimorio.
my sanctuary. Even when the galleries hurled scorn upon me, your sole desire was to suffer it in unison. On your first day of service,
Ahora sí,
you
pendejo.
aspired to be worthy of me. I only wish
Como
I
pendejo.
could have been worthy of you, my lord.
Mátalo, mátalo, mátalo. Ah, no me digas que estaba observando todo este tiempo. No seas pendejo. ¿Por qué te dejas matar? ¡Ah, no! Uy, 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 ahí viene esta pelea buena. Me traspasé la conciencia al otro. Métele un puñete. Oh, rápido, rápido. ¿Qué? ¿No le vas a meter un puñete? Ah. Ah, todo fue un sueño.
This stillness. Tenno!
Dime.
No. Operator.
The strand of claw has been cut, while the indifference remains undeterred. I foresee a grim and continuing struggle to safeguard Papa's laboratory from its fell and ruinous grasp.
Indeed. I shall not waver.
Ah, entre ustedes dos había una pelea antes. Con razón se fue, pe.
Protect the vessels. Repair. Rebuild. So runs the Kalimo sequence. And such is our task. In the version of the past we saw, my Albrecht said we were too late. The solution, naturally, is to arrive on time next time. You keep the murmur at bay, I shall fulfill my role. Punctuality. The Entrati family never could arrive on time without my help. And so, here I am, back to my old role, the diligent servant. Albrecht would have smiled at that, I think.
¿Qué te dijo justo antes de irse?
He said,
Que siempre estaba zarpando. Eso sí es verdad.
do not let it see you weeping, Lloyd.
Porque todo este momento no estaba zarpando de lejos el pendejo.
We had a deal. The deal was shook. A little handshake, all it took. Though from the deal, the wee child ran.
Yet still, we end as we began.
Susurros en las paredes, aventura completada. Una visión del pasado prometía un futuro sombrío, pero la inesperada asistente de los cables ofreció una preciosa segunda oportunidad. Con un recuerdo de amor que mantenía a raya la diferencia, Lloyd se prepara para enviarte de regreso y tal vez esta vez no llegues tarde. Pero llegué, creo, a la historia muy tarde, ¿eh?
Please, remember to hand in any voca you encounter for analysis.
Chosen operator. A friendly suggestion. You could do so much more with those melee weapons of yours. I donate my wisdom on both tool and technique. Listen well. Tenukai. A fighting technique fusing void and bestial instinct.
¿Qué cosa el Tecnokai?
Power. While I have never used Tenukai, I understand it perfectly. Somewhat of a mind master. Enough so that lost materials pertaining to Tenukai have been stored just out of my reach in the sanctum. Tools. Papa was not one to rest. Use this segment to unlock more potential for your arsenal. The arcane was an art and science that Papa studied well. The convexity of my bowl a magnifying glass on his research, and now your gain. Install this segment, acquire melee arcanas, find Tenukai modules, and observe the results. A swift deletion of your foes.
Ah, tengo que instalar esto. Adaptador de arcano cuerpo a cuerpo. Otro adaptador. Nos dio el legado del mentor. Y un segmento para instalarlo. ¿Dónde quiere que le instale eso? ¿Acá? Segmento de mejora cuerpo a cuerpo instalado.
This design is yours, by right. I intend to keep the promise I made to him. When the time is right, and the equipment prepared, I will assist you to travel back to the past. To the pivotal year of 1999. Perhaps, between us, we may change history. Lloyd.
Ah, nos entregó el plano de Corpes, el Warframe que salió. Pero lo dejaremos aquí. Nos vemos. Bye bye.